Okay guys, so today is Sunday, the day after Pachanga, and now we're gonna go to another casino, the one that's basically my home. We're gonna go to San Manuel. It's like a 20-minute drive, the closest casino I got to me. Yeah, we're gonna head on over there and see how's the action on this Sunday. So let's go check it out. So we just arrived, guys. That was a very long drive. I don't know why it was so packed, but it took us like 20 minutes to get in here. So anyways, we're about to go up there to the elevators. Okay, so we just put our name on for the 1-3, and there's 4 tables running. You know, there's pretty good action. So 2 of them look decent. I already took a look around, and looks like it might be a pretty good game today. So we're just gonna keep our eyes open for the good table and try to get a seat in it. Okay guys, so that's it for tonight. We're wrapping up the session and now it's time to head home. Okay, so I'm home now, and I didn't want to go over the hands in the casino because it's a Sunday and I work tomorrow, you know, so I didn't want to spend too much time there. So I just decided to come home, and it was a pretty short session. It was about 3 hours, but nonetheless it was full of a lot of action. So let's get to it. When we first sit down into the 1-3, we buy in for 300. Under the gun limps, and the LoJack raises to $13. The hijack, button, and the small blind make the call. We're in the big blind with Jack 7 of spades. Normally I would just fold this hand, but since there's so many players and we're getting a good price to call and we're already in for $3, I decided to just go ahead and complete, and so does the other limper. The flop comes King 10-6 with 2 spades, so not a bad flop, but we don't want to bet here, you know, so we decided to check, and it checks to the raiser, and he bets 35, which is a rather small bet into this pot with all these players. But he bets 35, and only the hijack calls. Since I have a flush draw and it's possibly still good, I decide to call, and so does under the gun. 4 ways to the turn, and the turn is now a 7. So now we add a pair with the flush draw. This time it checks around, so not bad. We get to see a river, and the river is pretty much the best card we could ask for. It's another offsuit 7. So this time we lead for $120, and under the gun just goes ahead and jams all in for his remaining stack, and everyone else folds. We call it off, and he turns over 7-8 offsuit. So yeah, pretty disgusting. He hit, but our trips beat his, so we win. So on this hand, things are a little crazy. This is just kind of like to give you a little insight of how crazy action this table was. The LoJack raises to 12, the hijack calls 12, and we're on the button with King Queen offsuit. We don't want to call here. We definitely could raise here, and I think raising here is definitely the best play, and most likely we're just gonna take it down, and I raise it to $50. Now the small blind cold calls $50, and it goes back to the LoJack, the original raiser, and he goes all in for his $72 stack total. The Hijack calls this $72. I have no choice but to call the 72, and so does the small blind. So 4 ways, $72 each. It's already a pretty big pot, and the board runs out low cards. The flop comes out 9-6-3. We all check. The turn comes an 8, and now the small blind goes all in for $175. The other player folds, and now it's back on me. I cannot call here, you know, any pair is good. We have nothing here, just king high, so I don't see how we could win this, and we let it go. We fold, and the river is a deuce, and the small blind turns over 10 jack for turning an open-ender straight, and he jammed all in. For why? For what reason? I am not sure, but I just found it so strange. And the original raiser turns over king queen, so he ended up taking the pot with king high. So we would have chopped it up, but the small blind didn't do that. Never know what these players are gonna be doing, so that was a pretty strange hand, and definitely you guys could see how very call happy these people are. So it's definitely a great table. So on this next hand, I'm in under the gun, and I have king queen offsuit. I decide to limp in. Usually I would just fold it, but seeing how crazy action this table is, I just limp in, and so does the LoJack, the Hijack, and the cutoff. The button raises to 15, which is a small raise. I make the call, and so does everyone else. Now the flop comes jack 6-5 with 2 spades. Not an ideal flop, pretty bad flop, but we check it. The LoJack bets $35. The Hijack makes the call, and button makes the call, and I don't know, it just seemed kind of strange, like nobody had anything. I should have just folded, but seeing how these players could have anything, I just decided to call as well, since I'm getting a pretty good price, like over 6-1. So I just decided to call and see what the turn brings. We go 4 ways to the turn. It brings a king. So now we have top pair with a decent kicker, and I check it over. Now the guy who let out on the flop jams his remaining stack of $205. Everyone else folds, and without pretty much thinking of anything, I just snap called him. The river brought a brick. He turns over king 8 of spades, and we win with king queen. So he had a flush draw on the flop. He had a pair to go with his flush draw on the turn, and just decided to jam it all in. Not a bad play, but this time I had the goods and I called it off. Again, this is not a hand I'm very proud of, but just seeing how action-packed this table was, it just seemed like a great call to me. So okay, so on this last hand, under the gun who limps, but we're on the button with ace king of clubs, and we raise it up to $15. Both the big blind and the under the gun make the call. So 3 ways to the flop, and the flop comes king 7-3 with 2 diamonds. The big blind checks, and strangely enough, under the gun player leads for $25. It's a pretty strange lead. I don't see why he would do that here. If he has a king, he would almost always just check it over to me and check call. Maybe he has a flush draw or something. It's just a weird line. So good thing is he has about $300 to $400 in his stack. We definitely want to raise it up here. If he does have a draw or something, we want to make him pay for it. So we raise it up to $85. Big blind folds, and now it's back to him. He's thinking about it for over 2 minutes. He's just thinking and thinking, shaking his head, saying, I can't believe I'm gonna fold this. I don't know how I could fold this. But he just decides to let it go. I liked my play, and if he did have a flush draw or anything, he was definitely gonna have to pay for it. So we definitely loved the play. That was basically the last hand. That was interesting. At the end of it all, we booked a win of $420. We cashed out for $720, so not bad for 3 hours. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this vlog, guys. So hopefully you guys liked it. Make sure you guys comment if you guys have any suggestions on how to play the hands differently. Let me know your input. And if you guys enjoy these videos, you know, give it a like, subscribe. So yeah, it's about almost midnight and I gotta go to sleep because I wake up at 3 in the morning to go to work. So this is gonna be it for tonight, and until next time, have a good night, guys.